everyone, it's Deja from Knit and Crochet Ever After.com, and today I am doing a review on the Annie's Kit Clubs. So they have a ton. If you don't know Annie's used to be called Annie's Addict. You can now go to annies.com, or this is actually at annieskitclubs.com, so you can check these out. They have tons of different clubs. They have knitting, crocheting, handiwork kind of stuff like making soap, needlework, sewing, all kinds of stuff. So I got sent a few different kits by Annie's to review, look at, check out the yarn they're sending, check out the patterns. So I'm starting with this Knit Stitch Sampler Afghan. So depending on what kit you get, you either may be making a brand new project every single month, or you're going to create part of a whole that will last you months. So be prepared, like if you're going to get the Afghan, like see yourself through. Don't give up. Get the whole thing, make the whole Afghan. I am looking at this and I'm already excited to see it because it looks like to me that you're really progressing as you're working through this Afghan. So for example, this is just blocks 1 through 3. So this is the very beginning of the kit. So when I look at the back side, it shows me the whole blanket and it shows me where the 3 blocks that I'm going to make are located in the blanket. I'm sure you can go ahead and move them wherever you want, but this is, you know, totally set out for you if you don't want to have to make those decisions for you. It looks like it's just very neutral colors, and I was sent with the pattern 2 skeins of yarn. So let's look at the yarn and we'll take a quick peek at the pattern. I'm going to work up through the pattern and see kind of how the pattern instructions are, how simple they are to follow, that kind of thing, so that you guys can get an idea of what you're going to get into if you decide to get this. So the first thing I notice when I pull out the yarn, it's really soft and squishy. It's Premier and it's an anti-pilling yarn, which I like. I like anything that does not pill, especially if you're using it for a blanket, because you're going to be using it on, you know, it's going to be moving around constantly and you want it to last, especially if you're putting all this time and effort into it. So this is a 100% anti-pilling acrylic, and it's got 203 yards in it, so it's a pretty good size skein. It's very soft for an acrylic. It's almost, if you know, like big brand acrylic, I'm gonna put it like in line with Vanna's Choice. Not, it's got a little bit of a sheen to it, almost like a Simply Soft, but Simply Soft I'm not a huge fan of. I think it drapes too much. I think it's too loose. I don't know, you know, you can't get good definition. It's like, it's great if you're gonna do something drapey, but I don't know. I stay away from the Simply Soft. This feels like it's got some good texture where it's gonna hold the stitches, which is really important for an Afghan in knit. If you've ever made one, you know it stretches out really fast. So I tend to make my Afghans, any patterns I'm doing, in like a chunky, bulky, something really thick so that it doesn't stretch too much. So we'll see what kind of stretch we get with this. But let's look at these 3 blocks, and I'm already seeing that it's going to take you from beginner on up. These are like the most beginner blocks. You've got garter stitch, knit stitch, and then a kind of mossy stitch. So I like that. This looks like this blanket is gonna walk you through, especially you'll see the 3 blocks starting from your most basic garter stitch and then working through. I see lace, I see cables. Ooh, I like that cable. That's a pretty cable. Look at that cable, I like that cable. Some knit and pearls, some more cabling. So it looks like you get like a whole variety of stitches where you're really gonna learn. And there's video tutorials too when you get the kit, so that if you're not sure what something is, you go watch the tutorial and it'll help you through it. I was thinking, let's see, these are 9.5 inches square. So you're probably gonna have yarn left over, and it looks like it's saying that you may have leftover yarn after completing all 3 blocks. Please save all leftover yarn for Afghan assembly and finishing. So once you finish it, don't throw your yarn away. Keep it safe as you're going through the months so that you have some for the finishing, joining, everything that's gonna happen. So I'm gonna go through, I may not make all 3 blocks because the first 2 are garter and knit, and you know, the instructions are like working garter. It's not really difficult. I might just do this 3rd block just so that I can see what kind of stretch we have with the yarn and how it works up, and maybe try blocking if it's not very square. We'll see. But I'll probably just do that one since it actually has like a 4-row repeat, which is a little bit, you know, more than just garter and stockinette. So I'm gonna go work on my block number 3. I'll come back, tell you what I think about the yarn, how easy the instructions are, and give you a general overview. Back, I did one of the squares, so I did not do the stockinette or garter stitch because those are, you know, if you know how to knit, that's very basic. I wanted to do at least one of the squares so that I could wash it and, you know, see if I could make it pill. So I did kind of the moss stitch last square of the 3 squares, and I stuck that sucker in the washer and dryer constantly, and you can see it looks good. It is not pilling. It's got a little fuzz. That's all right, that always happens, but no pilling. You can see how well it's held up, especially being not connected to anything. You know, it's just this, and I threw it in with like all my other clothes, so it held up really well. I like the feel of it. It's very soft. Like I said before, with knit projects or knit Afghans, they stretch a lot. You know, knit is very stretchy. So once you get the whole Afghan, and I do appreciate that that Afghan is pretty dense. So I'm not a big like holy Afghan. I don't like when my toes get stuck in stuff. So I usually try to make and pick very solid Afghans. You'll see most of my patterns are like solid Afghans. So I appreciate that a lot of the blocks, I think they have just a couple lace blocks, but most of them are very solid, so it's gonna hold together well. And I think this yarn is really good for knit Afghans. So if you are a knitter and you want to go pick something, check out the link below. Go check out the Afghan, go check out the other ones that they offer, and try one out. You know, we're all stuck at home right now. Let's make the most of it. But that is the Annie's Kit Club Knit Afghan block, and thank you for watching.